Being unstoppable means you carry yourself with faith. Romans 8:31. If God is for us, who can be against us? Walk the path of faith, and you shall walk the path of glory.
All men are born to die, we know it. We carry it with us always. If your day be today, so be it. Mine will be tomorrow. Or mine today and yours tomorrow, it matters not. What matters is that you know in your hearts that today you are that kingdom united. You are England. Each and every one of you. England is you. And it is the space between you. Fight not for yourselves. Fight for that space. Fill that space. Make it tissue. Make it mass. Make it impenetrable. Make it yours. Make it England. Make it England.
Welcome to the Umbrella.
Welcome to the fog that brought the B-29 crashing to the Morse. So in this video, this is shot in the United Kingdom in a place called Glossop. So this is where an American plane went down. These are just some of the things here that obviously the information I'm getting, obviously, I'm not making it up, but this is obviously the crew. The plane was called overexposed, and this is obviously because it took some kind of radiation or something from one of the nuclear blasts in the early 1950s, or not the 1950s, sorry. I think it was like before 1948, because that's when this plane crashed. So yeah, I just have to correct myself there. So the story goes that this plane crashed because of the fog. Basically, the pilot descended too early. He couldn't see the floor, and obviously the plane came crashing into the Morse. So you get to see the Morse and everything about the Morse in this video. Obviously, you can read some of this whilst I'm talking, but this goes to show the account basically of what happened from the main rescue team in 1948. As we'll go into details about that in just a second. So here it begins to tell you where the actual crash is and how to get there. So this is basically just some basic information. There is an old Roman road there, and there's somewhere called Devil's Dyke, and you won't want to fall down Devil's Dyke, let me tell you, because if you lived off that, it'd be a miracle. But this is the way here, as you can see. There's two ways. You can go straight up or you can go left, as you'll find out in this video. I went straight up and then came back where the arrow's pointing, so that's where I finished. So the plane itself had 13 men on board. Some of them were looking to go home. They only had a couple of days left, and unfortunately they came to a horrific end, and it's no way for any soldier to die this. But yeah, I'll talk to you a bit more about this and about the plane, etc, etc. Now in this video, the cloud drops as I get there, and it almost recreates the moment of when the plane crashed, which is really spooky, to be honest. I set off and the weather was fine. I checked my weather app and that was also fine. And obviously this weather came out of nowhere. So this is about the aircraft wreck site. Basically, you can just read some of it there. So now we'll go into the account of what actually happened and the account of the mountain rescuers. So when the plane went down, the mountain rescuers were 2.5 miles away. And as soon as they caught wind of this, they mounted up and charged to the scene. But there was little they could do. It must have been horrendous arriving at this plane crash where everyone was killed instantly. And obviously for any kind of plane crash, whether it's civilian or military, it's always a sad loss for people that die in accidents. So they obviously went to the scene, and there's a real detail of accounts here in a minute that I get onto, which tells you all about it. But this is obviously the people that were on board, the crew, and these were reconnaissance aircraft basically. So this is the account. I'll say it briefly here, but obviously again some more pictures here. The tail there, the tail's actually not there now, so there's no tail there now. If you're looking for a tail, you're not going to see it. But this is an accurate. Well, it says it isn't an accurate then, but now composite. So it's like a composite this, and you can read basically of some of the names and some of the people that took part in this rescue attempt. So this accounts from RAF Harper Hill, who was at the scene, and the author's name is Allsop. I think as well in this rescue attempt there's a lot of things that people don't take into consideration, such as obviously the lighting. There wouldn't have been lights that we have now, like torches and LED lights and stuff, so it would have been difficult as well to navigate this terrain at night. So obviously it says there that it was a photo recon version. and it tells you the name why it was called overexposed, because it flew too close to the flash or something. And it was late afternoon, 3rd of November 1948, and it goes to tell you that the camp was buzzing about an aircraft crash or something, an aircraft crash. So the crew thought there was women and children on board at first, but obviously as they got closer they realised it was met with MPs with webbing pistols, white helmets. They were fully geared out, so it's obviously that they knew that this weren't some kind of training exercise. Obviously they had to make it to Snake Pass, and this is more or less their version of a count. So they go on to describe that, on a positive note, first that the Americans always had plenty of equipment for comfort, so there was plenty of equipment that they could use. So it tells you here that there was an unlimited supply of fags that they took advantage of. So with that being said, there was an American officer on the radio was trying to persuade some helicopters that he wanted so he could get the bodies. But basically the issue was the cloud. There was low cloud at this time. Or that's what they were being told. But obviously when the men got on site, they were claiming that there was no low cloud at all. I think the quote was, "What fucking cloud?" Basically, that's what the one of the men said. Or should I say specifically the man in charge who was leading the rescue. So they asked for some trucks, and obviously they had to get the men in body bags and bring them down by stretchers, which I'm sure was a really difficult task at the time, you know, with the terrain and obviously trying to carry a stretcher with dead bodies on it. But yeah, this is a mad version of accounts. So one of the men go on to describe that the stretchers were, as he described, weighing a ton. So you can imagine, you know, it wouldn't have been easy by any means. So obviously it goes on to say the light had gradually improved from black to grey as a mist swirled clear. I looked up from the feet in front of me and I suddenly saw it, the huge B-29 tail fin rearing across a desolate moor up in the skies. If a huge gravestone had already been planted in that area. So what was on this plane was money, so there was $7.5 grand of wages and obviously some admin stuff as well, so that needed recovery, and that got recovered by the MPs at the time. So this is a description of what they saw, where everything was all over the place as far as objects from the plane go. And I can tell you now from first-hand accounts from when I went, it's obviously this is still the case in the year 2023 as the wreckage is still there. They were describing a smouldering smell of burning flesh, but when I went I didn't smell any burning flesh or anything like that, you know, so obviously that was, you know, that could change as well because I've only been once. So it obviously goes on to tell that the account of you know, dominating a terrible place was enormous tail fin of the dead B-29 towering 25 foot high. So this is the gruesome bit where it goes on to describe the dead basically, and I'm not glorifying the dead in any way, and that's why I'm not going to describe what you can read here, because I'd rather you read it than me mention it, because it's, you know, I don't look to glorify the dead in any way, you know, and it's horrendous how these men died. So I think one of the men froze, one of the rescuers froze on site, and it took his training and his discipline and a kick up the arse, it more or less said, to get him going. So they began looking for bodies or anyone alive in this tangled mess that surely just brought them more to light, you know, with this plane crash. And obviously it goes again to describe more of the dead here, and I'll just let you read if you want. You can pause it if you want, and you can read what it's saying, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want to describe it where you can read it, to be honest, because I don't need to. So it goes on to obviously describe again more of the crash of what they came across, and obviously they had to start the recovery now with certain aspects of the crash. So it goes on to describe some of the dead, you know, how they were found and stuff like that. I don't want to say too much about that because you can just read it there. But this isn't the first crash in this area, as there's been crashes before. So I might go and look at some other crash sites as well. But obviously they went round looking again if there were any survivors and what they could retrieve. And these are just some pictures again. I think these were took in 2008, but it goes to show the wreckage and, you know, how it was then. And you get to see how it is today in this video. So this is describing when the American military police took the money, basically the $7.5 grand that was wages for the soldiers. I don't know if for the soldiers on this flight or what, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, it goes to show $7,400 were in the bag, and that was like per payroll for the Burton Wood base. Now what was weird is there was nothing wrong with the money. It not burnt at all, so it was in perfect condition, which was quite strange, to be honest. So at this time it seemed body bags had just come on the market, or they were a new piece of equipment, where we know body bags now was quite a common thing, but they were quite excited with this new piece of equipment, and it goes on to describe a body bag really. So here I actually got it wrong. It says they were carrying the body bags, they weren't actually on stretchers, so that's another mistake from me, but you know, it's quickly corrected. But this is obviously the version of accounts when you read it properly. But obviously it goes to show how difficult this terrain is, especially carrying bodies, and obviously going to a wreckage that will, you know, leave scars on your memories for a long time. Welcome to another video, and you can see the sign behind me. That means I'm way off where I should be as far as like usually locations go. I'm far away from home, which is what I'm trying to say. I'm probably the furthest I've ever been for a video. I'll just get across the road actually because I need to cross over. I'll tell you what's going on in a minute. In fact, you probably already know what's going on because you would have read the title. So I'm in Glossop at the minute, so it's because there's a plane crash here in 1948. So it's an American B-29. The plane was called Overexposed, it was like the code name. And obviously the intro should have told you all about it. So I thought I'd wear my American gear tonight, which should help, well today, which should help with what I'm trying to accomplish in this video. So I've got a 2-hour walk because I need to get to Snake Pass, and there's no buses that run there now. So I need to get to Snake Pass. There's no buses that run there, all the bus stops are still there. So once I get there, I've got to then trek up to the fucking over the Morse to try and find this plane crash, which isn't going to be easy by any means. So because when you get there, there's no network, so you can't use Google Maps. So yeah, so this came through to me last night, and then I was like, fucking hell, like, it's a bit far that. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fucking use a Vox more or less today to try and get some kind of frequencies from the past. So hopefully if they were using radios, which they would have been, maybe a mayday call, maybe something that can tell us about the area. Obviously we know that there was a crash, we know the pilot descended early and obviously crashed onto the Morse. So that's basically what I have to tell you in this video. I'll show you around Glossop in a minute. So yeah, that's it really. We're going to go up there. See, obviously, I'm not trying to portray there's ghosts in this video, yeah. This is like a Google video. So it's like an educational video, but I will use paranormal equipment to try to get stuff from the past. Just to make sure as well there's no soldiers trapped in purgatory, which is what can happen usually with military soldiers. So I'll show you basically my journey from now, what I have to, you know, contend with to get to the location, which sometimes can be really interesting. So it was like a 2-hour journey here. And this is Glossop. You can see up there, yeah, with like the land the way it is. It's all morsey, so that's what we're gonna have to get up. I'm quite used to the Morse because where I come from, there's somewhere called Watergrove. That's really morsey.
At the roundabout, continue straight to stay on High Street East, A57.
So we're going straight across. So I'll cut it here and then get a bit closer, show you a little bit more, whatever. Yeah, because we've got a long journey to go. So I did want to show you that defibrillator there, which is really good because B&Ms don't have one of them. If you know anyone or you shop at B&Ms, they don't have defibrillators, and that was, whatever that was it a pub? Even a pub has a defibrillator, and if you go into B&Ms they don't. So that's, I just had to say that. I know it's nothing to do with the video, but that's basically, you know, I like to expose companies that are not doing what they should, and I know this because I worked at B&Ms. It's a bit shocking really, but I don't know if you get it shocking. Well, it's not really funny. Anyway, changing the subject. When I was on the way here, yeah, I just looked up and seen a plane in the sky actually, then seen the Morse. So on the way here, I seen 4 army trucks, yeah, which is kind of weird because the theme is military plane crash, and I've seen 4 fucking army vehicles, which is kind of weird. And then looked up there and I seen a plane, just a passenger plane, and then I seen the Morse. So in this video as well, you'll have an account of what the rescuers had to put up with. I'm sure I've put that in the beginning of my videos, but I don't know actually, because I don't know how this video is I'm gonna put it together. I only know that at the end basically. So anyway, I'll show you a bit more Glossop. So we're after Snake Pass, yeah, so we need to get to Snake Pass, which is approximately about a 40-minute walk, and then we can turn left. Well, it's actually 3.7 miles what I've got to walk, but yeah. So I've got it here, and I was missing cat here, look. Come across these quite often, don't we? So that's the bus stop. Obviously the buses don't run this way now, so the bus stops are still here, but the buses don't run. That's what I'm being told. I've also got told, yeah, that just recently there's no more wreckage. Yeah, now I don't know if that's true or not. So if there's no wreckage, then I would have just spent 4 hours probably trying to get to somewhere that's got no wreckage. So I don't know if there's wreckage there or not. It's never been till now, so I don't actually know. But just looking up here to get a bit closer, you can start to see the Morse and shit like that. So I guess we're going to find out sooner or later. But this is probably the longest or furthest distance I've gone for a video. I usually like to stay in my area, but I think with a case like this, it's got to be done. I've never investigated a plane crash before, it's the first one. So there's more than 1 plane crash as well around here. I think there's more than 4. So if you like this video and you want to see more plane crashes when you go to these sites, then you know, all you got to do is smash the like, leave comments, whatever, and I'll come and do the others too. So you can see the distance here where the Morse is starting to open up now, especially up there. There's a bit closer, but you can see it's very Morsey. I'll just zoom in. Yeah, so we have a lot of that where I live. And this must have been an old farm, eh? Horse changeover, whatever. That's well old, that, for probably 18th century. So we carry on our walk, which is quite a fucking walk actually. So it's a dirty walk if you fancy your chances, but for me personally, I do this all the time because I'm a bin man. So you know, you're walking constantly for 5, 6, 7 hours, sometimes even 8 hours. So this to me, it's just like, it's not even going to work. It's less than that really. Although it sounds a lot, but it's a beautiful walk actually. You know, when you come into a different environment for the first time, because obviously I'm used to going to in the area that I live. So if you're watching this and you're from Derbyshire, I'm from Rochdale, so it's not that far away I guess, but I got the bus here, so well, there was more than 1 bus I had to get. So I don't think anyone's ever done this before, what I'm about to do with this site. So let's get to the site. See, I'm sweating already. Let's get to the site, yeah, and let's see what we can capture. Now, what's bad is to walk back, so when I've done it, I have to walk back. But this really is to sacrifice. It's a sacrifice like all the men took. Obviously on the plane, the 13 people that died, and the men that tried to save them, the mountain rescue crew that had to bring the bodies down in body bags on stretchers, it says. So full shout out to them. And it tells you in the finger what they was going through. Said their fingers were going numb and stuff. Now what's mad is I haven't been up here yet, so when I get here, when I get in position, I'm going to think, you know, what's it like trying to find this at night time? Obviously daytime it's quite easier to find, but you can imagine you just would have been a fire on top of the Morse, and that's what you're trying to get to. But in your way is a load of bad man terrain, if you get me. It's just terrain that's almost impassable to, you know, to negotiate really. So back club. Oh, there's a golf, look. Playing golf over there, look. It's alright, isn't it? Little tee off over here and that, isn't it? So anyway, like I say, I want to try and save some camera time, but I do want to show you as well, like, you know, what you have to go through. And that's some bad man terrain up there, look. Look at that, if you had to go on top of one of them fuckers. Get up there, so you know, we're trying to stay on the path as we go on this bend here. So this is why they call it Snake's Pass. It's because of the way the road bends. And it doesn't look like it's going to stay sunny for long. So we'll get on this path. It's a pretty dangerous walk this actually. So I'll carry on and then get to the point. We're ready for Devil's Dyke at the minute, so we'll keep going. So check this out. It's quite fun, isn't it? Look at it. I don't know what that is actually. It's just running around the field. I don't actually know what that is. I don't know if it's a grouse or what. Yeah, it's a grouse, I can tell you. It looked like one, and you can just tell by how it sounds. And I can hear a plane, funny enough, I just can't see it. There it is. So there it is. So it's obviously where planes come in it. You know, it must be an air traffic fucking. There's that grouse. Look. It must be an air traffic route. I don't know if you see the grouse still. See him? He's there somewhere. I can't see him now. I don't know where he's gone. There he is. See? And let's keep going. So this is how Morse it gets. So as soon as you get to Snake Pass, this is what it looks like. Mad, innit? Now this is not ideal for walking, I'll tell you now. But unfortunately I'm committed, so that means you have to carry on. So we'll carry on, see if we can get any closer. So this is obviously another bend. You can see like the moorland now a lot better than when I started my video. I think it's over there, yeah. I think Snake Pass is over there. But there's another point up there too, so there could be 2 points up. It's over there. Yes, is that a goat? Or a fucking sheep? So we'll keep going. If you're asking why I'm walking towards oncoming traffic, yeah, it's so I can see the traffic. Like if I walk on the other side, yeah, I'm not going to see them. I'd rather see it coming, yeah. So when these cars come, I'll just step off the road like way off in time, so they know and I know that no one's going to get run down. So if you have to do this is how you do it. The vans are coming now, yeah. So I'll step off. I'll step away. They should know. So now they should know that basically I'm not going to walk out in front of them. But that's why I'm walking towards traffic or oncoming traffic, so I can see it. I think it's a lot safer than walking on the other side of the road. So all this walk, I'm going to have to walk all the way back. Yeah. But even so, I'll be happy when I get to this wreckage. It'll be all worth it if the pieces are still there. So get to Snake Pass. This is the easy bit now because I'm on the road. But once I get to Snake Pass, yeah, that's the hard bit because you've got no sat nav. Your network goes. So literally, I'll be relying on Teresa, who's my spirit guide, to get me into that location. I've got told it shouldn't be that hard to find anyway, so we'll see what happens. a location I've never been to. So I've got no doubt, yeah, no doubt in my heart, yeah, up here will be madness in the dark. You can imagine. So any of you spooky dookie fans out there want me to come up here in the darkness, and you know, that's what the comments box is for. So anyway, not far now and we'll be at Snake Pass. Right, I think this is it. This has got to be it, yeah? Look at it around here, man. That's a... Right, so let me check the maps to make sure that I'm in the right place, although I think that I am. Right, this is it. So the crash is somewhere fucking up there somewhere, I'm not quite sure. But we've got a nice terrain to dig through. You can imagine the bodies would have been brought down here on stretchers, and there would have been military vehicles probably waiting here. I can only assume that that's the case. I don't think they came out by helicopter because they was complaining that there was low cloud or something, and the helicopters couldn't land, so they had to fucking bring the bodies down here. So you can imagine what I'm trying to get through now when you're holding a stretcher. Yeah, obviously it tells you anyway in the beginning what happened to some of the men. I'm not going to say it again because it's not really nice, but you know. But this is more or less the start of the site for the B-29 Overwatch. So on one hand I'm really excited, but the other I've got to think about that walk back. But if the parts are still here, yeah, then it's worth it. If it's true that someone said that the parts have gone, then that's a shame. It's a shame as well when you've got a big bog like this and you've got... Oh, fucking dirty bastard. He nearly swallowed my boot. Anyway, what was I saying? It's a little bit windy here, so it could be worse actually. But I've got my bag anyway. I just want to tell you what's in my bag. In my bag that I'm carrying, yeah, is a 24-hour survival kit if the worst should happen, and a trauma pack, again, if the worst should happen. This is obviously to show that I'll take things like this serious as far as expeditions go and as far as safety goes. So I think we just, you know what, I could have just took the path instead of walking through all this boggy shit. Yeah, so maybe you want to take the path. I didn't know about the path, look. So this is the path. So we're going to walk down here for a bit, get close to the crash, and then show you a little bit more. That's what you're looking for really, this sign. It says the signs have been removed. It's obviously they haven't, because there's one right there. So the information I got was the signs have been removed. Well, we've just seen one, so we can make sure that that's obviously false. There's one sign still there so far. So we're just looking for the parts. There are people in front of me, so I don't know if they're going to the same place I am, or if they're just doing whatever they do. I'm not quite sure. But either way, imagine crashing up here. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere, or at least it were in the sea. You know what I mean? So we'll keep cracking on. So you can see what they're on about, like low cloud. See that part of the cloud there is probably in line with the highest point of the... Well, in fact, that's probably the highest point up there. So you can see what it's saying. So we'll keep cracking on this trail. But me, I came from fucking miles and miles from down there, man. Anyways, keep going. So as I'm walking, I'm sure you can see the big dirty cloud behind me, and then you can see it's not actually that bad. It's more clear on this side, so it looks like it might get wet, might fucking rain. It looks like it's going to rain as well, because I've been looking with these binoculars and looking at the point, and it's not looking good. So it started to rain, and you can see what they're on about now, the low cloud. I'm literally within 100 metres of the crash site, so it's raining, like I said. So you can see what we can see of this crash site. Like literally, it's difficult to find when the cloud comes down low like this. There are other people here as well. I just want to show you the cloud and what caused the crash. And I'm hoping the sun's going to burn through that and the cloud lifts up again. But the crash just this way. So start with the seer. I get a picture, but you don't know. Look, I'm getting fucking back. I'm not going to know the way. This is probably the hardest one I've had, the hardest video I've had to make for numerous reasons. For the weather, for the location, for the atmospheric conditions, for the moon phase. Everything's gone against me in this video, but I'm still fucking marching forward. I don't even know when the people went, to be honest. You can't see anything, man. I stick with the trail. Oh, it's here, look. It's here. Found it. Or some of it. Piece of wreckage here, look. Look. Fuck knows what that is. So that's one piece so far.
Basil, I'm here.
Are you here? Yeah. Right, sick. I need you at the minute because I can't see shit. So, I'm assuming there's more to it all.
Hold.
Hold. That's nothing to do with it. Come to the wrong bit. So I did see two people before. I don't know why they just disappeared into the fog. Oh, it's fucking mad up here. So I'm assuming it's over there somewhere. Yeah? That's what I'm assuming, because there was a part over there. There was a part of obviously the plane. Right, I have to cut it here because I don't know where the fuck I am, but something's telling me it's over there, yeah. So go back down there and then take a left. So I'm going to get back down here. Look at it, it's just fucking, you can't see shit from anywhere because the cloud's so low. Don't get me wrong, this would make a good video. It'd make a good video of this, but you can see there's like burn marks in the floor and shit from impact. So we'll go back here. So we'll start walking back. See if we can go back to that point, because all this wreckage is together, I think. I don't know what's beeping. It's getting figures in front of me. Again. Right, so that's the part, yeah? Right, so I think I found some more of it. That's where I've just come from. There's fucking some more of it here, look. Look at it. Found a resting place for whatever that is. There's more of the wreckage there, look. So what I'm about to capture on the Vox is what appears to be I'm on fire, yeah, and I think this was on the radio, so I think the Vox has captured the frequency of one of the soldiers basically, so I'll let you listen to it now. Let's just have a look around this wreckage. So that's basically the first point. I was just talking to some dudes, some couple, and they said how easy it is to get lost when it comes.
Worship.
Worship. What do you worship? There's more people arriving now. Oh.
Immune.
So I take it these are pieces of the plane here, just pieces of debris, just laid all over. There's more over here, look. So we'll try see if there's any EMF reads. I doubt there will be. So we're after is it's obviously equipment, frequencies, anything like that the Vox will hopefully pick into. Look at that, how that's just folded. Just folded on the impact. The wreckage is just all over, look, there's American flags and all sorts. Look at this, fucking hell. Words that can describe, like, because I've never been in a crash before, so there's not really much words that can describe this. Here lies the wreckage of B-29 Superfortress, overexposed, of the 16th Photographic Reconnaissance Squadron USAF, which tragically crashed whilst descending through cloud on 3rd November, killing on 3rd of November 1948, killing all 13 crew members. The aircraft was on routine flight from RAF Scampton to American AFB Burtonwood. It is doubtful the crew ever saw the ground. Memorial laid by 367 Air Navigation Course of RAF Finnegley on 12th November 1988, and this is why. So this is great, to be honest, because it goes to show like what they could see. As you can see from the sky, you can probably hear a plane now actually, and you can hear absolutely nothing. You can see absolutely nothing, sorry. So looking back at this video, I've captured some really good SLS captures, so I've got no doubt that this place could have the opportunity at night time for something quite unique, to be honest, as I've never investigated a plane crash at night, so this gives me an opportunity. But anyway, I'll show you these captures as the video goes on. assuming that's a stone. Yeah? We're assuming so. So these captures are really interesting because one, it's either someone trying to put the plane back together, or it's just the plane itself mapping in. Either way, I'm not quite sure, but again, the captures are quite interesting. Either way you look at them. That's how low that plane is. You probably can't even see the Morse, you know what I mean? Let's carry on with the Vox. So I don't actually know which way the plane was going. So I'm assuming it was coming like this way, but I'm not quite sure. Oh, there's some more stuff over here, look. Some more wreckage. To this. That got fucking stuck in the ground, innit? Huh? Look at it, all this must have been on fire at one point. Let's try to see if we get any pictures of anything. So let's have another look round. I do not know my way back one little bit. Foggy it is, so you can see where they crashed. Mad, isn't it, to think the plane, well, you know, fucking came out of the sky and landed in on this fucking Morse. No pictures. That's just part of the engine, I would have thought. So the SLS camera will pick up things like this, but what's interesting, you can look at it from the other perspective. It looks like someone's trying to repair the plane, if you get me. You know, that it looks like that kind of motion, but the motion looks very repetitive, you know. So again, they're just interesting captures, and it's just two different ways to look at the captures themselves, which warrants like further investigation for me. So words can't describe what this would be like at night time when it's foggy and it's dark and you can't see anything. It would be absolutely terrifying. It's crazy. You can see like why they crashed. Like this Morse, like literally, I can only see that in front of me, like you can on the camera. So I wouldn't recommend anyone coming up here at night time. It's just simply I just think it's too dangerous, to be honest, because you can't see if the fog drops. It's almost impossible to navigate your way out. See, I don't even know what's down there. Yeah, I know there's more than one crash. Obviously here, I think there's at least 4. It just looks like the grass has never recovered. I've seen this before where they do like these storms, put them together. It's in that up Blackstone Edge, I think. Water Grove as well. So in a minute I'm going to say there's too many people that talk shit, and then the reply is it's what we want, which is proper spooky, honestly. Check this out in a minute. So the plane pieces are still here, obviously. So I don't know who's talking shit. That's what I mean these days, there's too many people that talk shit. Oh, that motion just started. That's weird, isn't it? Motion in front of the camera is what we want. Who's talking?
What is that?
It's my motion sensor, so when you come in front of me, I know you're here. Do you know what your name is? Do you know where you're from? This is United Kingdom, this. It's Glossop. Are you American? Let's try the Vox, because I'm more than convinced that this was the right piece of equipment for this area. It's just too, because there's debris. There's debris all over, and surely would have been on a frequency at one point. So little did I know at the time what I captured previously, and that goes to show you can get radio transmissions off these parts, off the Vox. That is all that was used for. God knows how they're fucking getting off this hill.
To his.
That's the fucking wheels, man. No way. That's rubber fucking from the actual crash, man. That's madness. Look at these little fingers that they've made. RIP from Sheffield. I think everyone's gone now and it's just me. Just don't like it. Do I come communicate on this frequency? There's like people at distance, yeah. So I'm getting the feel. There's people at distance that are curious, like, you know, obviously through my equipment. Now I'm on my own. There's no one here. It's a little bit different. It's like a different feel, if you get me. So I can only imagine up here at night time be fucking ruthless. Honestly, there has to be an element of safety as well if you're gonna come up here at night time. You know what I mean? But I tell you what, now make a fucking mint video. Got all the pieces just still left over. That's dug in the ground. I don't know what that's obviously part of the plane. It's just in the ground constantly. You can see how where it was on fire, you know. Madness. Never would have thought that I'd use the SLS camera as much as I did in the days. It's a useful piece of equipment when the fog drops, so I can't stress enough how vital this piece of equipment was, although I never thought that I'd need it. But you know, it paid off in the end for numerous reasons. For, you know, it really helped basically when the fog dropped and visibility. So I can't really begin to describe what it's like at this site, because it's just overwhelming sometimes for so many different reasons. It's hard to think a plane, you know, crashed here, but obviously it did, and it's not something you see every day. Is, you know, a plane crash site really. Oh, but it's amazing here. Amazing. Right, so I'm going to start setting off back now. I do not know the way back at all. But once I do know the way back, it's fucking walking back down Snake Pass. That's an hour on its own. But this is hard work, because this is what you've got to do. Remember the dead, you know, and respect the dead. The service that, you know, these men and women, I'm assuming it's all men on this flight, assuming what their men and women sacrificed, because they sacrificed their lives. And I believe there was $7.5 grand on this plane, which the MPs took quite quickly. They recovered that quite quickly. Madness. And he just sits here, sat here since 1948. It's crazy, absolute crazy. It's a bit spooky, isn't it? Starting to get some kind of reads now. I just got, you know, a couple of VMs then just shot up. There's no milligauss but some kind of electricity, but it could have just been my phone, to be honest, but I doubt it, because this is how close it is now and it's not doing anything. So yeah, so we'll just finish on the tube. So that magnetism's a bit all over, but I'm still around metal, which is kind of what I want there. That's what I'm after there. That there. So I'm stood in the perfect position really, but the atmospheric conditions with the low clouds not really going to help. But look at it around here, it's magnificent. Seriously, a bit spooky at night, you know, when you find this. What an amazing find. And I think the fog just adds to the atmospheric conditions of the video, so for me, I'm kind of glad it rained. I'm a bit wet, but I'm not arsed, because, you know, it was worth it. Look at it. I just don't know where the impact was. I assume it were over there and then all the fucking pieces just went all over. Look, there's just fucking pieces everywhere, you know, when you think about it. Right, if I remember rightly, I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere now, so fuck knows where I even get off this hill. There's a bit of voices in that. Look at that. Disembodied voices. Looks like some kind of flap, one of the plane flaps or whatever. Look how light that is. That's fucking pretty light, that. So I don't recommend removing pieces from this area for a number of reasons, really. One, because it can give you bad luck. Two, it's disrespectful to the dead. And three, just leave the pieces where they are. There's no need to take pieces from this site to take home. Someone's left a cross here, look, as well. They've made a cross out of stones, which is good.
Ready. 10 to
10 to 10, whatever. So that's a cross. Can you hear me on his frequency? My name's Basil.
Is
It's Basil.
That
was a good one. Look at this cloud is just coming towards me like the mist. It's pretty spooky, to be honest. It's pretty cool. And it's mad how you can hear planes just flying across, you know, in the cloud. It's definitely still used as a flight pattern. really going to enjoy it, editing this video, I know I am. So anyway, that was a piece that I seen first. I remember that was like the first piece that I seen. So I am going to come back here, yeah, but like I'd like to know what y'all think, whether I should do another video here, and not another video here, but go to another plane crash, because there's 4 or 5 nearby. So the first piece is down here. Look at the cloud as it just moves across. I don't know if you can see that. I can see it clear as with my own eyes. I'm hoping you can just see that cloud just passing past the camera. Right, I'm cold, I'm wet, it's time for me to go home. But it's going to take me a long time to get back, I tell you now. I probably won't get back till about 7 o'clock tonight or something.
Sure.
Stay that plane.
You
I don't know where it is. That's not that far away if you ask me, but you can see why they've crashed. Imagine if it were a passenger plane, man, fucking hell.
check.
Check.
It's hold.
So there's a part of me that's feeling a little bit disturbed, but there's a part of me that's really enjoying this, if you get me. So fucking it's disturbed because there's obviously people have died and there's been a crash. Yeah, but half me, this is like, you have to enjoy this, otherwise you're not going to spend hours and hours trying to get here. So anyway, I'm going to finish it here. I'll finish the video here, and yeah, nice watching. I've made a big sacrifice for this video, but these things, you've got to do this when you're a YouTuber. You just can't be a lazy bastard. So I've got a 4-mile walk to the first bus stop, and then I've got to get my travel home. So anyway, hopefully you like this video. Maybe leave a comment. It's took a big sacrifice, like I say. Big shout out to all the soldiers that are serving today. Big shout out to the soldiers that have passed. But this is Glossop. This is the furthest I've come, and it was all good to be honest, because you know we've got the remains of a plane crash that's still here, which is great for me. It's unfortunate that people lost their lives, but you can hear planes just passing over. Anyway, peace out from me, peace from fucking Glossop. Big shout out to Glossop, because this is great how people, you know, there's stuff still here that you can come and see, which is fantastic. So wish me luck getting home, because this is the start of my journey home. I ain't got a fucking clue where I'm going. Right, see ya, ciao for now. And that was that, really. What a fantastic place, for the right reasons obviously, but you know what a sad place equally. So this was a video I'll never forget for many reasons, but yeah, definitely worth a trek up here. Anyway, peace for now, hopefully see you soon.